Kia ora. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into your August 2016 Taroscope readings with me. They've taken a while to kind of get round to uploading for the August ones, and I thought to myself, I wonder why, why haven't I been able to get into them and do them? So I did a little bit of research thinking there must be some information that needs to be looked into for August, and I found that there is in fact a partial eclipse in August, which on a lot of the astronomical sites doesn't even really mention because they call it a nearly there eclipse. It is on the 18th of August and it won't be particularly visible from Earth because it just about eclipses the moon, but they call it it's because of the conjunction on the same day. Venus and Mercury are in conjunct, and that is about the essence of communicating love. And this nearly there penumbral lunar eclipse is called, the position that it falls in is known as the top of the finger of God. So it's a very rare, barely there eclipse, and it links itself into a series called the Saros cycle. The previous one was on August the 8th, 1998. So it links into very long periods of cycles, and they date themselves back to 2,222 years ago. So I thought to myself there was a lot of synchronicity and energy within the numbers of this barely there eclipse. Also that it ties in with the conjunction of Venus and Mercury, which are about communicating love, and the fact that this falls on the top of the finger of God energy. There could be some profound things happen in August for some people, and particularly in the areas of love and awareness and opening and connection. Now remember, love is self-love as well, which is also very important, because until you inspire yourself with self-love, it's very difficult to love others. So anyhow, I thought that's how we would open the beginning of the tarot readings for August, with that information on board. So consequently, I have decided to use the Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland. I will do the same format as last month. That's 4 cards on the top with 4 underneath, which are the affirmation cards, or the cards that give clarity. So for our first reading here, we are going to connect with Cancer, because I'm doing this in July and right now it is Cancer energies. So for you guys that tune in July, happy birthday Cancer. Let's see what's in store for August 2016. Okay, so this is Cancer. These are the first week of this first week, second week, third and fourth, and then clarifying cards underneath. Okay, so we have lots of lovely green colouring coming through. That is the colour of the heart chakra, also denoted as the colour of love energy. We also see 2 2s. I mentioned that before, the timing of the 2-2-2-2 cycle. We also see 2 3s in your reading. So you've got some nice synchronicity going on there. The number 2 brings up the thoughts of balance within all things that you do, and remembering partnerships and equality and fairness. And the number 3 can often be attributed to creativity and 3 people's input into situations, and gatherings of 3, or events or outcomes or important issues that will happen with a 3 in them. So let's start off with the first card on the left hand side. That's the green border, which represents the Cups cards, and this is 6, memories of love. So this card can often incite us back to childhood places and memories and events. It can also be a time where you usually fond and happy memories. It could be a time when you are going for something like a school reunion, or a university reunion, something along those lines. It could be when you go back to places you have visited when you were younger, or reconnecting with family members that when you were younger. It is also about the possibility of old reuniting of love energies. And it's quite interesting that I've just talked about this whole essence or energy of possibly quite profound love vibrations coming in this month of August. So some of you may even want to reconnect with past people in your life who maybe you wish there was still a bond of love with. Now, these can be old lovers that reunite. They could be coming back to sort things out or to re-clarify any issues that were around. So sometimes it's about healing wounds, would be a good way of describing it. And if we go down to the card below, we see it's the number 2, and it's called the waiting game. Now that purple border is the wands, which is the essence of the fire energy. So it's the Sagittarian, Leo and Aries energy. It may involve a person who holds one of those energetic astrological signs that you are dealing with, or that you are thinking of, or trying to communicate with. Now that waiting game means that it's like the 2 of wands. It talks about the fact that the timing isn't quite right. There might be some hold-ups, or there might be some reason to wait for the universe to deliver this to happen at a more accurate or insightful time. We see that in the hourglass there are roots. There is a tree growing above in the top half of the hourglass, and there are roots going below, and there is a man walking around in an elliptical circle. So I think it tells us that everything in life is cyclical, and that seasons and cycles come and go in rhythms and times and patterns, and it's all about timing and whether or not we're in the right place for the timing to occur. So sometimes it just means you need to wait a little bit longer for perhaps this connection up here that you are either bonding with or wanting to reignite with, for it to happen or occur. So think about ways of enabling the time essence in this to be worthwhile and to be structured enough so that you can continue it forward as well. We move into the second week there, and we have the 2 of Cups, which would be spiritual union. Now the 2 of Cups is quite a profound, you've got a lot of love, as we say, coming in at the beginning of this reading for you, both up here and down into this sort of L-shaped creation there, L for love. The 2 of Cups shows us that this can be a new reunion coming, or a new union or reunion, where 2 people bond at a very special close level, and it's amazingly spiritual connections. So there's a lot of tantric energies and light energies involved with it. It doesn't have to be completely sexual romance. This can be the connection of 2 souls that may not even be sexually involved. It can just be a very special bonding. So it is much more spiritually aligned or inclined than it is necessarily physical, but the 2 can cross over, of course. It could even be, as we look down here, rejoice and celebration. We see this 3 of Cups is usually shows us the picture of 3 women in particular. So the bond of 3 women, which could be a mother and daughters, or grandmother and mother and daughters, or best friends or sisters, something along those lines. So the spiritual union connected with these cards is very profound. But it can also be the possibility of a very new beginning of a love romance that is also deeply intertwined in the spiritual essence. So past life connections can be signalled here at this point in time. So that's a really nice confirmation card with that one. Also, take a look out at, you may see this as being at the beginning of August a time of quite nice events that you are attending, which could have the propensity to meet this connection here of meeting people you haven't seen in a long time and having a great deal of pleasure and happiness and solidarity and unity in the meeting and the events taking place around it. So we come to the third week and we see the 8 of, which would be the swords, which are the air signs, Aquarius, Libra and Gemini. And this is trapped in fear. So the 8 of swords traditionally in the Rider-Waite deck is a person with a blindfold on, and there are swords all around her and she can't see a way out. This is your own internalized worries or feelings of angst, and usually it's because you've trapped yourself into something around you that you think is, you blow it out of proportion in essence. There is a way out of it. It does exist. There is anxiety around possibly in this third week, but again, it's how you deal with it. It's how you have allowed it to enable it to get to this stage. It is also up to you as to how you disenable it. Now, interestingly enough, right beneath it as the affirmation card or as the clarification card, it is the 7 of swords, so it's just the one below it, and it's also called deception and envy. And oftentimes, again, these can be brought about through our own perspective of a situation. So sometimes it is envy that we are holding, and we think someone else has something more or better than us, and we're envious of it. But again, it's trapped within our own paradigm of how we're looking at it. So this is definitely telling you in this third week to broaden your view and broaden your expanse of your knowledge and understanding of a situation. I think with this one, it is also telling us to be a little bit wary of who we trust in that third week, because sometimes there are people around us who are not there for our best good, and to just be aware of untrustworthy characters or people who seemingly are doing things underhand, so not legal or with not good intentions. Don't get mixed up in it. Avoid that sort of negotiations or dealings, and especially if it involves money or signing documentation or purchasing things. Be a little bit aware about it. You do hold the ability to walk away from this. It is entirely up to you at the decision you make and the way you take it forward. So you are the one who is the penultimate decider of the outcome of this situation. So use your strength here, Cancer, and don't let others curtail you into things that you would rather not be doing or directions you would rather not be going. So we come to the fourth week, the final week, and it's the only time we see a major arcana card, and this is number 15, which in Rider-Waite original tarot deck would be the Devil card. Now the Devil card is often about bringing balance back into situations, and you already have 2 twos here. So the Devil is also a card of balance. So there are 3 cards within the reading that are inciting you into thinking about balance in your life. And this third week is telling you also to balance your emotions and be the person who takes control. A little bit the same as this card here. Take control of a situation. Now we come up here and we see this card here, the purple is the Wands again, and we see the 3 of Wands, and it's called partnerships and alliances. So sometimes this card points to the fact that we are contemplating changes in direction with certain things, and oftentimes this is affiliated or associated with career or areas around that type of thing. Sometimes there can be 3 people involved because it is a number 3, but it usually incites the fact that there are new partnerships and alliances coming into your life. And again, this could be associated a little bit with this over here, thinking which way do I go, what selection do I make, who do I choose to be with, or who do I choose to be employed by or employ if I'm running my own business. So again, you've got to make sure that you balance this decision up here logically and don't allow temptation or disharmony or addictive energies to make that decision for you. So you've got to kind of step out of the view that you're looking at. Again, there's messages here for you guys about broadening your view and being able to look at it from a distance with no bias in the situation to make the right choices for the month of August. You've got some really amazing propensity for love and happy, energetic energies around you, and for new love as well as old love coming back in. So you've kind of been given you've been given a candle that's burning at both ends, and it's up to you to make the decisions and to join the dots as to which direction you want to go. But as long as you remove any kind of unbalance out of it from the energetic pathway of your own, and you look at it from light and love, you should be able to make the right decisions and move ahead. Remembering too that this is the major arcana, so its message is fairly potent and powerful in the fact that it's talking to you about these alliances or allegiances and partnerships as you move forward, and some of which could be related most definitely to your career. So it feels as though there's opportunities for you in a career path as you move forward, as well as love in the month of August. So I think you've pulled yourselves a really nice reading there, Cancer. Actually quite cathartic and quite sort of emotional, because it suits really well with your watery energy. There's 3 watery cards in there, so it's really transmuting your particular energetic pathways as well. So let's move on to the final card for the reading, and so I shall just pack these up. The final card is going to be an oracle card, and it is called the Power of Surrender. So let's see for Cancer what message you're getting for the month of August. What is it that you should be surrendering for August? So this is for Cancer. They're a little bit stiff and hard to shuffle, but that's fine. Okay, so for Cancer, what is it they are surrendering for August? Surrender to non-action. Let's just reel that in a little bit. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. And I think that message ties in really well towards the end there, where we see that you have the power, and I said you have the ability to broaden your perspective on situations around you in August, and to utilise the fact that you are the one that will be holding the answers and the way forward. So a really nice way to finish that off is to say, wait and let the others come to you, and that way you are still retaining the power of the situation. So I think you've been enabled a very strong and very powerful reading for August. So that's a rather beautiful way to finish there. Surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. So Cancer, gather up all your strength and might and show it to the world. Thanks for listening, everyone. Wishing you the very best for August. Ka kite Anoa, much Aroha. Namaste.